It's no good.
What's that?
I don't think my Amsterdam forcing is really firm enough.
Oh, shocker, isn't it? We've all been there.
It must be an age-related thing.
Perhaps. Take your mind off it. Would you like some sake? Or would you prefer vodka martini?
No. I like sake.
Oh, really?
Especially when it's served at the correct temperature, as this is. 98.4 degrees Fahrenheit.
Well, we've got beer.
Hello and welcome to episode 5. Five, believe it or not, of Review to a Kill. My name's James and I'm a big James Bond fan.
And my name's Tom and I haven't really watched these movies, you know. I've watched a lot of other ones. I've seen Minions Rise of Gru.
Have you?
Yeah.
We should do a... No, let's not.
I've seen The Adventures of Buckaroo Barnes across the 8th dimension.
Anyway, each episode we'll be analysing a James Bond film from the series from the perspective of a first-time watcher, i.e. Tom, when he's not watching, what was it, Buckaroo and the Teletubbies. Yeah, and someone who's seen it a million times before, i.e. me. Now, as we say before every episode, there will be...
Ninjas! Sorry, spoilers!
Spoilers! There will be spoilers.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen the movie that we're going to talk about tonight, please pause us now, go and watch the movie, and then come back, because we would hate to ruin that sacred moment for you.
Yes. I just do I comment on what you ruined for me? I'll save that for another time.
I always ruin things for you. That's what I do. It's my role.
I haven't watched any of these films with James is talking what bloody happens and every...
When we've done the Bond films, we can do Minions, Teletubbies and whatever else it was. Right. Don't forget, we would always like to hear from you on this show. So please do send us your feedback. On either on YouTube, just by leaving a little comment underneath this show, or you can tweet us. Is it still called tweeting now? It's X.
No, but no one calls it X because no one knows what you're talking about.
Thing.
Yeah, X tweet. I just keep calling it Twitter and be cool.
Yeah, it's almost like they haven't thought this through, isn't it?
Almost.
Anyway, if you want to tweet or whatever it's called now, you can find us on @ReviewKillShow on Twitter /X.
Coming up on the screen there.
Now, as you may have noticed from my attire, and it's ironic that I'm the one dressed in the Christmas gear, because I'm the one who hates Christmas and you quite like it.
Yeah.
And I'm the one with the Christmas top. Anyway,
I like Christmas because I get on, I like seeing the family, spending loads of time with the family.
Yeah, I don't like that. So anyway, today is the 19th of December.
Giving an opportunity to not say that, but you went there.
No, you're fine. We're recording this just a few days before Christmas. Now, of course, there is one James Bond film which is set in Christmas and which Christmas is a really essential feature of the movie.
Okay.
And it's not the one we're looking at tonight.
That one,
so
I
sorry
don't know
about
what
that.
it's talking about.
No, we've sort of cocked up the timing slightly. So tonight we are looking at
You Only Live Twice,
which, on Tom's French chart, let me just introduce a little je ne sais quoi to the proceedings.
Yeah.
As you know, we have this lovely French chart. And 1967, On ne vit que deux fois.
Oui, oui,
Hold on,
bien.
Oh no, I got that completely
Did you get that wrong?
Can I just apologise to anyone who watches this show every week who actually speaks French, because I just butcher the language every time.
Well, I'm none the wiser. I think you sound very eloquent.
Thank you. Merci beaucoup, monsieur.
And
I went to
also,
Café Rouge for lunch,
I did forget to tell you, you're looking very sexiful this evening.
Thank you. Very, very sexual.
Very sexiful.
She's very sexable, Bontan. Do you know, there are so many problematic things in this movie.
Well, that's where we're going soon.
On ne vit que deux fois, if you speak
done.
French. You only live twice to the rest of us. So, I'm going to give you some basic information about this movie, as we always do. I tried to cut it down, but there seemed to be a lot this week, so I will race through.
Okay.
All right? Get ready with the edits. They're going to come thick and fast.
Okay.
And then I will get through this as quickly as I can, and we will move to the most important part of the show, which is this.
Yeah.
This masterpiece of design. So, would you like some basic information about You Only Live Twice?
Please.
Okay, strap in. Here we go. You Only Live Twice is the 5th movie. It was based on the 12th James Bond book. Remember, the books are in a different order to the film, so that's why that doesn't make sense. Sean Connery was in his 5th movie as Bond, and there were many signs that he was getting annoyed with all the attention that he was getting as Bond, particularly in Japan, where he was constantly the source of media attention and literally crowds of people following him even to the toilet. Everywhere he went, he had no privacy. During the filming of this movie, it was announced that Sean Connery would retire from the role of Bond. And he also had a row during the making of this film with Harry Saltzman, and the two were not speaking, which, to have the star not speaking to the producers, kind of a problem. Connery basically was sick to death at this point of being Bond. Would you like to do Wig Watch?
Yeah, I reckon we can do Wig Watch.
Wig Watch. Wig Watch.
Can we do Wig Watch?
What was that?
It was a surprise. I made a little tune.
Oh.
Didn't like it?
No, it was a lovely surprise.
I got plenty, mate.
Very sexiful.
If you didn't like it, I'll do another one.
No, Tom. I am not here to question your artistic endeavours.
That was just an experiment. I thought I'd try something.
Let's hear it again. Maybe it'd be better second time around.
Wig Watch. Wig Watch.
I've gone off it.
So, Wig Watch. Right. This sadly is the last Wig Watch for a while, because obviously Connery didn't do the next movie. So we'll have to make the most of this Wig Watch. Lots of action sequences here for the wig to contend with. Flying through the air and doing all kinds of different things. Yes. Yeah, lots of running around.
Coming out of a body bag. Looking very natural there.
Being underwater for a while and all that kind of stuff. Also, of course, the wig has to survive being turned into a Japanese man. Of which more later.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we can't really talk about this movie without touching on that.
I didn't know if we were doing it now.
No, I think, to be honest, that needs a whole section all on its own, so we'll get to that. Anyway.
Separate episode.
This movie was directed by Lewis Gilbert. It was the first of 3 Bond films he would direct. He had just made Alfie with Michael Caine the year before, very successful movie. Obviously, being set in Japan, it had a largely Japanese cast. So Tetsuro Tamba as Tiger Tanaka, although his voice was dubbed once again by Robert Rietti, who we've seen before. Tamba hadn't made many Western films, but was a big star in Japan. He had also previously worked with Lewis Gilbert, so that was good. The role of Aki was played by Akiko Wakabayashi. Yes,
that was right. Good.
Been practicing that. When production of You Only Live Twice began, Wakabayashi was slated to play the role of Kissy Suzuki, and Miyahama, who ended up playing Kissy, was actually going to play Aki.
Got it.
However, still with me, bear with me.
Yeah.
However, learning English proved to be a major hurdle to Miyahama.
Okay.
So the 2 women switched roles, and Hama ended up playing the smaller part of Kissy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there we and actually her voice was dubbed once again by Nikki van der Zyl, who we've seen before. Karen Dorr, German actress, was Helga Brandt, Spectre number 11. She went on to star in Topaz, the Alfred Hitchcock film, a couple of years after this.
That's got Connery in it, hasn't it?
No.
What?
Connery is in Marnie.
Oh.
65, I think.
I thought he was in Topaz, so there's an editor's note.
There's an editor's note appearing on the screen right now.
Yeah.
Which one of us is right?
I'm saying Topaz.
I thought he was in Marnie. Yeah. Well, we'll check. Well, I say we. Tom will check and put a little, because he does all the clever technical stuff. There is no Felix in this movie. I'm really sorry, Tom. You don't have the opportunity to talk about the wearing a suit on the beach scene.
He could have got good use out of his suit over in Japan, couldn't he?
He could have worn his inappropriate suit.
Would you like a kimono, Felix? No.
No, I have my suit.
But no.
I'm going to wear my bathing suit instead of my normal suit. That suit I wore on the beach in Thunderball, I'll be wearing that again. But no, sadly,
he's
no
not.
Felix. No Felix. in this
Hopefully
movie.
we'll see him again.
We will see
in
him
a different
again.
form
Yeah.
once again.
He's like Doctor Who. He changes every 5 minutes. This also saw the return of Bond regulars Bernard Lee as M, Desmond Llewellyn as Q, and Lois Maxwell as Moneypenny. Also in this movie was Charles Gray as Henderson, who we will see later in the series in a much larger role.
I thought I recognised him, so maybe I've seen...
Yeah. What could it be? We don't know.
Well, you do.
Well,
I
yeah,
don't.
we do. Yeah, most people watching.
Yeah.
Yeah. Donald Pleasance was cast as Blofeld, so we finally get to see Blofeld in this movie.
Yeah.
And he is in many ways a sort of archetypal Blofeld. He's got the Nehru suit on, and he's got the cat and the scar and everything else. However, it wasn't going to be Donald Pleasance.
No?
A Czech actor called Jan, I hope I pronounced this correctly, Jan Veric, maybe,
Okay.
was originally cast.
You did all the work on the Japanese names.
Wakabayashi, and I forgot. Yeah, no, I can do Japanese names, just not Czech ones. He was originally cast, but he was not considered scary enough after 2 days on set. So the part was recast to Donald Pleasance. When you see film of that actor, he does look a bit like Father Christmas. He's got the beard, and with holding the cat, he sort of looks quite avuncular. He doesn't really look like he's going to take over the world. I also need to mention here Ling, the Chinese agent who Bond is in bed with in the pre-title sequence, played by a lady called Tsai Chin, Chinese actress, who was also at the casino table in Casino Royale in 2006, 39 years later. She makes another appearance in a Bond film. And by the way, I checked, she's still with us at the age of 90. Nice. Isn't that nice? So, hello if you're, I mean, she's not watching, but hello if you're watching. Maybe one of her friends could pass that on. But, there is also a famous sumo wrestler appearing in a cameo, which is like, you know, some cameos are kind of quite subtle.
Yeah.
This is like clang, cameo, a big cameo. His name is Sado Yanama. And he is playing the agent who gives Bond the ticket to go to the sumo.
Yeah.
And he's clearly learned his one line of English parrot fashion, and he's there for the Japanese audiences. But God love him. Very nice of him to be in. Did you notice who wrote the screenplay for this?
I did. It was that Roald Dahl, wasn't it?
It was. It was legendary children's author and noted anti-Semite Roald Dahl, who... This was the first Bond movie that had a completely different story from the book. Up to this point, they've all sort of followed the book to a greater or lesser degree. Yeah, this is literally completely different. The novel is the conclusion of the Blofeld trilogy of Bond books, so it couldn't work in the movie. So he literally took everything out.
Because it is one of, you said it's like 12 in the
12th movie, 12th book rather, yeah. So he literally took everything out and did this completely different story. We will talk about the story a little bit later on because it's one of the categories on the old girl here.
It is, yeah.
Peter Hunt was the editor of this movie, and he did such a good job. He was asked to direct the next Bond film. So we will see him again in the next episode. Right, bit of historical context. So what else happened that year? 1967. Lots of references to space. Obviously, space is an important part of the plot for this movie. Probably even more so. It's got a Star Trek.
That started in 67 as well.
Oh yes, of course.
Scotty says, aye.
Aye.
So a wee dram of the old Aberdonian. But that's for a different show, maybe.
I like that. A Star Trek started in 67. There you are. But that shows how keen everyone was on space at that time, doesn't it?
Okay.
Nice. Yeah. No, very nice. Yeah. I like the subtle references. Mine's like Christmas. You're much more you're much more subtle than me. Anyway, so the world's gone space mad. The space race is hotting up. Of course, Kennedy, before his death, had promised to put a man on the moon by the end of the decade. So now we're really getting to the sharp end of that. There was also something interesting that happened during the making of this film. The England World Cup squad for 1966 visited Pinewood Studios during that tournament because they filmed some of it at Pinewood in the summer of 66. There is a great photo, and I challenge you to find it. Actually, it won't be difficult. Of Sean Connery, Bobby Moore, Jimmy Greaves, and Yul Brynner, randomly, who must have been filming at Pinewood, I guess, all stood round having a chat and a glass of wine while Connery's making this film. So there we
I'll
are.
see
The
if
England
I can
World
track
Cup.
that down.
Thank you,
We'll
thank you.
see
It would make at least one person watching this very happy.
Okay.
Me. Right. The novel, as we mentioned, 12th book, although the 11th novel, because one of the books is a collection of short stories, little geeky point there. But it was the last novel published before Ian Fleming's death, and it came out a couple of months before he died. And as I say, almost nothing from the novel was kept in the movie, apart from the setting in Japan and some of the characters' names. Okay. Although some elements of this novel were used in No Time to Die, just a couple of years ago.
Your favourite?
Yeah, I can't wait till we talk about that, believe me. The Garden of Death and all that stuff is in No Time to Die. So you will see that when we get to episode 25.
Yes.
Probably sometime around 2032, the rate at which we're putting these out. But anyway. I'm
saying it would be quicker than that.
Yeah, 2031 in the winter. Right, the production, obviously overwhelmingly shot in Japan. Almost all the interiors were done in Pinewood. Anything you see on location, or almost anything you see on location, is in Japan. This was a very long and arduous shoot. It started in July 1966 and took all the way to the following March of 67. The little Nellie scenes took much longer than planned to film and actually had to be finished in Spain. So sometimes you see them flying over Spain. It's actually an area of the Costa del Sol near Torremolinos that they're flying over instead of Japan. And they also used Gibraltar and the Bahamas for some of the underwater scenes of Bond's death.
Yes.
At the start. As I say, serious problems with Japanese fans, which kept halting production because literally sort of 200 people would suddenly come along with cameras and try to take photos as they were filming. There was also a serious accident. If you're eating, I apologise. You may just want to stop for a moment. There was quite a serious accident during this, the making of this movie. An aerial cameraman called John Jordan was filming in a helicopter during the Little Nellie scene. A gust of wind blew another helicopter close to him. He's hanging out of the helicopter to film the thing. The rotor very nearly severs his foot.
Oh, God.
Right? Now, here's the best bit. He kept filming. I mean, talk about devotion to your craft. We salute you, sir. He kept filming and even had the presence of mind to take some footage of his injured foot, thinking it might be helpful to the surgeons.
These are the real
I mean, that's
heroes,
unbelievable.
aren't they?
I mean, it's absolutely
Doing
incredible.
this show, I've got such raised respect for stuntmen, people
everyone.
who do the explosions and all that stuff.
The actors have the easy job, don't they?
Yeah.
Just remember your lines and try not to fall over.
And we'll make you look cool.
Yeah. Anyway, John Jordan returned for the next movie with a prosthetic foot. So there you are. That's an amazing story. Right, some really famous scenes in this movie. Of course, the volcano set. This incredible set by Ken Adam. The volcano cost $1 million, that set.
I was thinking they must have gone into the wig budget a bit. Yeah. Because the wig's looking ropey this one.
He couldn't. Sorry, Sean, you can't have the wig this time.
Yeah.
No, it cost $1 million to build the volcano, which was the entire budget for Dr. No just 5 years before.
Yes.
They spent on just the volcano for this movie.
Amazing.
It is an incredible set, and it's become the sort of trope, hasn't it? It's the ultimate evil lair to be inside a volcano or somewhere similar, hidden away from the world. Little Nellie, the helicopter, it's
over there.
Technically, it's an autogyro.
There she
There
is.
she is. Hello. There she is. Not much bigger than the original. That was a real craft. It was designed by RAF Wing Commander Ken Wallace.
Nice.
Good user. Who also flew it during the movie. If you're a nerd and you're into these things, it was actually the Wallace WA-116 Agile Autogyro.
Nice.
So there you are. You've learned something there, haven't you?
I have.
I thought it was a helicopter.
Yeah.
Right. The next section is called Controversies. Anything that wouldn't be included now.
Not much.
How long have you got? Because really, we need a whole board for this.
Let me say, I'll go. Well, what are you going to say? Or do you want me to?
You go first. Go on. I'd be interested in your view as a first-time watcher.
The big thing that stands out quite massively is them changing James Bond into a Japanese man.
Yeah.
And notably, Star Trek began in '67 because I think they may have used the same makeup department.
He does look like a. Is it
Romulan.
a Ferengi? Romulan. That's what he looks like. Thank you. Yeah.
And I wonder, knowing what I do about how little faith creative types have in their audience, whether they thought if we go, rather than they were concerned that it would be insensitive, they were concerned that people would think, where's James Bond gone? And who's this Japanese guy? Because they don't look Japanese. No. And it's like they weren't even trying. They give him a rubbish wig and put these little things on his eyes.
And I think, my friend, you've hit the nail on the head there, because not only is it offensive in so many ways, right? It's actually a bit crap. It doesn't work. He doesn't look Japanese.
Yeah.
And also, okay, so we're gonna turn him Japanese by making him. I mean, let's assume that everyone in the world is not going to find this racist in the slightest and just go, yeah, cool, whatever, right? He's still a foot taller than everyone else, and he's speaking with an Edinburgh accent.
Yeah,
he's not Japanese. It's just and here's the best
I think
bit.
he says "domo arigato" once,
like that.
Domo arigato.
Domo arigato. Sure. Yeah, sure, man.
I like sake.
And here's the best bit. We've talked about how much was lost from the book.
Right.
Like 99% of the book is gone.
Yeah.
Guess which was the 1% they kept? Literally the most offensive, rubbishy part of the book.
Right.
And that's the bit they go, we'll keep that. That accounts for this causing a problem. That'll be all right. So...
I'll say though...
Yeah.
I watching this... Well, we'll get to it in locations, but they do make Japan look fantastic.
Oh, it does. It does look amazing. Yeah.
At least they've got Japanese actors with pretty good roles. Like, basically, Tiger's like a Japanese lighter in a way. Isn't he? He's got a good role. Yeah. The girls have got, decent parts.
Yeah.
Pretty fairly decent. So there's some, it seems to be, rather than just being completely racist, it's just, they've got some respect for the culture and everything, but they're just clunky, stupid, bloody Englishmen.
I mean, they're obviously trying to, because Bond was so big in Japan at this point, they're obviously doing things to try and appeal to a Japanese audience and make sure it's the biggest hit they can in that part of the world, which is a huge market, right? I get it. I understand that. But some of it is, like you say, clunky is a generous description. It is pretty awful. I mean, the other thing I was going to raise here was the way he and Tiger speak about Japanese women in numerous places in this film, but particularly in the bath scene, which is just cringe, really, from beginning to end. The whole men come first, women come second thing. Yeah. I mean, even in 1967.
Yeah.
Really? It's not brilliant. So I think you have to watch this. How can we politely say this? It's of its time.
I would say that,
it's not brilliant for a whole variety of reasons. Right, reception. The critical reception for this was good, although not quite as good as the previous couple of films. There was a slight downturn in sort of critical response, although a lot of people still felt it was a good movie. Today, Rotten Tomatoes has a 73% ranking for You Only Live Twice. So not bad. Not as good as Thunderball, not as good as Goldfinger, but not bad. A Guardian poll, a poll in the Guardian. Guardian's a newspaper in this country if you're watching abroad. In 2018, had this movie at number 1. Which I say surprising just because you would have thought with the sort of problems with it, maybe... But then I guess there's so many things in this that are archetypal Bond, the volcano and the villain and the, maybe that's why. Anyway, the box office, this film was huge. The budget for this movie was, well, I've seen various figures, between 9 and 11 million, somewhere around there for the budget for this movie. The box office for this, $111 million. Okay. So it's washing its face 10 times over. Yeah. However, although that's an enormous amount of money, it is down slightly because Thunderball took about 140 for a similar budget. So it's a wild, massive success, just not quite as wildly and massively successful as Thunderball had been. That's the background. We're going to have
Very
a quick
nice.
cutaway.
Yeah.
And then we're going to come back and go to the new and improved Bond board. I can't wait. Tom, would you please activate the Bond board?
Oh, Bond board. Show us your glow. Let's not have this be a complete shit show. Amen. Hey, it's okay.
So, this is the Bond board. As you can see, there are 12 categories upon said Bond board.
Yeah.
So these are our 12 elements that we think are vital to a Bond film. We will score, each of us, each element.
Yeah.
Me from the point of view having seen the movie a million times before. You from the point of view seeing it the first time.
Yeah.
That will come up. We can then compare our scores and see how we differ.
Let's do it.
And we can come up with a grand total onto which we will put our top 25 Poptastic Bond films.
Oh yeah. So should we say what they were, or should we just wait till the
let's
end?
have a recap of the scores. I think people want to know that there's all to play for.
Yeah, it is really. I mean, Doctor No didn't fare too well, so that's 143 in last place at the moment, and then we've got From Russia with Love with 184. Thunderball last time was 186, and our highest score so far is 191 for Goldfinger.
It's Poptastically pick of the pops, babe.
Yeah.
Right, the first category is the opening sequence, the pre-title sequence, in which we find that James Bond is dead.
Yeah.
Which, of course, isn't the case, because to kill James Bond would be ridiculous. It would be a crazy idea, born of desperation. You see, you would only do it if you kind of backed yourself into a corner.
And I don't
that
know
was
what
all
he's
you could-
talking about, because he didn't ruin that for me.
No,
at all,
I may
yeah.
have ruined that slightly for
Right,
you. But anyway, I don't like the idea of killing James Bond, even in
Did
even
they
in
say how
passing.
he survived as well? I not listening? Because he just
The miracle of
JP and James Bond.
Bondness. Yes, exactly. But actually, that's a good point you make, because later on, in especially in some of the Roger Moore films, there are literally bits where you're like, this guy. I mean, it's getting ridiculous now. The things he survives, and this is the first time he survives something, and you've gone, come on, really? He's been shot 43 times from 2 yards away.
Yeah.
You know. Anyway, yes, he survives. Can I just also say, in the opening sequence, there is the line about Chinese women tasting different.
Why do Chinese girls taste different from all other girls?
I can't believe that got okayed. I mean, really?
Yeah. And then there's like, I'm not doing it.
No, don't, please. I think
I'm going to leave it there.
In the movie was enough.
You watch the film, you laugh, and then you feel bad about yourself.
Yeah, no, it is pretty
you're
awful.
me.
So
And
I
there's
don't
space
know.
stuff as well in the top.
There's what?
Space stuff.
Oh, there is, of course.
There's
Yeah.
a bit of rocket modelling going on, and
The front is opening up.
I-
I repeat, the
Yeah.
front is opening up.
I have got me and my brother have a difference of opinion on whether that is a hand in a glove going. Because I think it is. I think there aren't any stars behind the bit.
I will consult the Bible of Bond.
Yeah, well maybe.
The Magnificent Some Kind of Hero
Do you know
by
that?
Matthew Field and R.J. Chowdhury. But I haven't seen it. I have
Okay.
seen models, so I think maybe your brother is right. But I will check and get back to you.
Okay.
I don't think it's a glove. I could be wrong.
And does it? Yeah, it does happen in the start.
Wait. We're missing a marketing opportunity here. If you know, get in touch with us. At Review Kill Show on Twitter.
Yeah.
Or leave a comment.
Yeah.
Can't see. I'm getting the hang of this YouTube thing. It's all right, this. Yeah. So, what are we saying out of 10 for the opening sequence?
I'm going to go 7.
7 for Tom. Tom's scores will be in blue. I'm going 6 for the opening sequence.
All right, mate.
You've managed to put that board in a really
I've
awkward
done it.
position.
I don't know
haven't
how
you?
I've done this. I know. Oh yeah, I can do it. Saturday.
Oh, wait. I need to add
you
up
need
the
a
scores,
bloody
don't I?
calculator.
Do you know what? Let's do it at the end. Let's take a break. We'll do a cut. I'll go and
okay.
get my phone.
All
and do it
right,
then.
all right,
Okay,
all
right,
right.
good. So, 6 from me and 7 from Tom for the
Yeah.
opening sequence. Okay, good. Theme song is the next one. The theme song, of course, You Only Live Twice, was sung by Nancy Sinatra. Frank's daughter. Frank passed on the chance of doing it, actually. Nice, go ahead.
Yeah.
He is a musician, you know.
I won't.
Tom's scribbling music on SoundCloud. He's good, this man.
I don't know if that's coming out because he's quite quiet, but yeah.
No, it's very, very nice. A nice Japanese sounding.
This is a koto.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, very good. I consider myself educated. Apparently, Nancy Sinatra was very, very nervous, and it took 25 takes.
Oh, really?
So yeah, the final song is a sort of mashup of all those takes. Although I think it's a rather beautiful song. The string arrangement by John Barry has been sampled in lots of other pieces of music, most notably
Millennium
by Robbie Williams in the late 90s.
Yeah.
And that's the only time I shall mention him.
I prefer You Only Live Twice.
Yes, I think most people of taste would agree with you. So, good song. I like it.
Good song. Yeah, I like it. I've given it 7.
I've also given it 7. That's interesting, isn't it?
And I think, oh God.
Is that a 7? Would you like me to do that? Because you're on the wrong...
It's alright. It'll be easier as it goes along.
Okay.
I think the one I'm listening to on Spotify or whatever
the streaming services are available.
On the streamers where they do compilations and things. It's different from the one that's in the movie.
Yeah, they're often more different.
There's a bit heavier guitar or like fuzz guitar in it, more prominent.
Oh, right.
If it's a single version, I don't know. But I love it's more, the strings are more prominent and.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, I hadn't heard that. Okay, good. Well, we're in agreement on the theme
7,
song.
yeah.
A solid 7, good theme song. Right. The next category is music.
The score.
No, every time I mention music, just do that. I like it.
That works, doesn't it? Because
Nice. Hold on. The next category is music.
I messed up there.
You missed up. Yeah.
That's so. Again, I'll say, in fairness, in defence of the
turning Japanese thing.
Yeah, they didn't go for, and I'm not going to play it because it's very offensive to Asian people, but you know what I'm talking about. It's like a pentatonic scale where this one is not, and I've forgotten. I was going to look it up, but it's sort of A minor, but all the white notes.
Oh, okay.
And it's yeah.
So it's deeply racist and very crap.
No.
Totally unnecessary, but the music's good.
Yeah.
So
they
that's our summary of that
using
thing.
traditional Japanese instruments, the koto,
Yeah.
interspersed with the normal John Barry strings. I think he did a fantastic job.
See, this is why you're here, because you, as the musician,
I'll stop being a clown when we talk.
No, I know. You get all serious. I don't know what to do, to be honest. I'm confused by it. It was John Barry's 4th Bond score, the 5th movie. There was also, as well as the use of all the Japanese instruments that you mentioned, what's the koto?
It's like a little... tiny little guitar, but like only got a couple of strings, I think, and it's like a little plucked stringed instrument.
Okay.
Brian May used it to good effect on the Prophet song on A Night of the Opera.
Niche reference there.
1975, I think, and obviously Brian May then went on to better things with the Flash Gordon soundtrack amongst others. But
where there is no use of the koto, as far as we're aware.
No, I don't think so.
He's obsessed with Flash Gordon. Anyway, Barry also reused the 007 theme, for which we first heard in From Russia With Love. Da 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 da.
I'm doing it wrong. There's also
No, go on.
No, I don't know that one.
It's music, mate. This is your
another
department.
bit. There's only 3 notes again, which is. I'm not doing it.
Oh yeah.
The keys are tiny on here.
Is that only 3 notes?
Yeah.
Clever, isn't it? You can make so much out of so little.
Is it, or is music just a bit con and it's all easy?
I don't find it easy. No. I'm bereft of all musical abilities. So
magic.
It's magic.
Yeah.
It's witchcraft. That's what Tom does on SoundCloud. Witchcraft. Yeah. So I have scored the score. I've scored the score in a scoring way. 7.
Right.
What do you say, great mate?
I'm saying 8.
8, great mate. Okay, it's a big 8 for the big score there.
I liked it lots.
Okay,
Right.
we've done 3 categories. The next
have.
one we have is
Stunts.
stunts. Here's an interesting little fact. The fight in Osato's office,
With I call it the designer sofa fight.
the designer sofa fight, yeah. The Habitat sofa fight. Yeah, that's good, I like that.
Yeah.
Do you know who that man is?
No.
That was Peter, let me get this right, Peter Maivia, who was a Samoan wrestler and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's grandfather.
No.
There you go.
That's
There's
amazing.
a fact.
No,
and
like that.
I think it's a good sign because he looks like a wrestler, a bit like Oddjob. You can
Yeah,
see the
yeah.
way he moves. He knows what he's
Yeah.
doing. He looks like a good adversary for Bond. I would say should have been in this movie a bit longer.
Yeah, he was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I quite liked him.
A little underused.
Bob Simmons, our favourite stuntman from the last episode, was very busy again. He designed the climactic fight in the volcano, and in particular the more than 120 stuntmen who had to slide down on ropes inside the
Yeah.
volcano from a great height. The volcano could be seen from 3 miles away, so it really was as big as it looked. So there was quite
yeah.
a lot of difficult stunt work in that. We should, I think, also, if we're talking, I know you're keen to do this. If we're talking about stunts in this movie, we have to talk about the ninjas.
Ninjas!
I think
Yeah.
there's too much ninja stuff. I'm sorry, I do.
Well, I think you're mad. But there you go.
Okay, are there any stunts I've missed?
Yeah. There's this great aerial shot of Bond on the roof, sort of running away from the baddies,
Yes.
taking a few out. I really like that. And then he
Yeah.
jumps on a few boxes that are mattresses. But there's one that I think he does one. I might
Yeah.
be wrong. And then you can see that there's a stuntman jumps, goes out of shot, and then Connery pops his head up as if.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Which I enjoyed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's well done, but you
Yeah.
think, no way did Connery do that. And, well, I mean, the dropping the car in the sea, is that not a stunt?
Well, yes.
Or are you going to that in vehicles?
I've got that down in the vehicles, but we can talk about it under stunts
well,
if you want.
Well, I'll just say that's really cool. And,
Yeah.
And that's added in. That's been factored into my score.
So, did you like
then-
that?
Yeah.
Dropping the car into the sea?
Again, like, how do you not like
I don't.
that?
I didn't.
It's the
care
bit when the
much for
magnet
that.
first goes on, they first go and they're airborne, and the guy's still trying to
The guy's
steer,
just-
if he can steer away from
Why
the
is it not
magnet.
going anywhere? I get the sort of comedy element to it. I know it's light-hearted, and look, these are Bond films. You have to suspend your disbelief
Yeah.
all the time.
Again,
right?
I'm just thinking,
But-
maybe I'm thinking more about, I'm looking at it as if that would have been such a cool day or two or whatever, doing that. And
We're going to put a helicopter and
yeah.
put a car underneath it.
Yeah.
I mean, I get that. I
it
just,
just looks cool.
I
but
don't know.
no,
I
you're
don't
not.
quite go for it.
Alright.
I don't quite buy it. The other thing is,
Fair?
it's right in the docks of a major city. Surely someone's going to notice that. Aren't they? I've just seen a helicopter with a car attached by a big magnet, and they dropped it into the docks, and presumably now they're all dead. I don't know.
alright.
I can't quite buy into it. I've gone 6 for stunts.
Ooh.
This is where you say you've gone 52 or something, isn't it?
No, I've got 8.
Oh, okay. So it's
Mainly
interesting
for
though that
the
you're
ninjas! Right.
So you've gone 8. So you
Yeah.
seem to be enjoying the
Yeah.
movie more than I do so
Yeah.
far, which is interesting.
I don't know what's going on here,
No,
but
I know. I'm the so-called fan, and yet you're enjoying it more. Strange.
Very strange.
Vehicles.
Vehicles.
Vehicles is
Well-
next. Would you like a small piece of trivia?
Yes.
This is the first movie in which James Bond
doesn't drive.
Yes,
Yeah.
well done.
I had to think. Is it? Yeah.
Well done, my young apprentice, my young Padawan.
Padawan.
You're doing very well there. No, he doesn't drive at all in this
No.
movie. First one.
Yeah.
We need to talk
Aki
about.
does
Aki
in a
does.
little motor.
She
That's
is
cool.
a great little car. It's the Toyota
Yeah.
2000 GT, which is brand new at the time. They never made a convertible of that car, so those two were made especially for the film. And I think it looks great. I think it's the perfect
Yeah,
little
it's
car
nice.
for her to bomb around Tokyo in.
Yeah.
I think it's great. So, what other vehicles have we got? Well, there is, of course,
There's Nellie.
little Nellie.
Yeah.
Suggests she be accompanied by her father.
Yeah.
Oh,
Who-
that's nice. That goes right.
Who again, brilliant. Just Q's hardly in this movie, but he's just like, sorry, mum, but Q's just like, he comes, 007 comes in, he goes, oh, I see you're here, Dad, or something. He's like, fuck off, 007, basically. And I'm in no mood
for your juvenile quips.
Maybe I'll beat that.
I want to know if all civil servants are like that.
Yeah.
The way they speak like that.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
pay attention, 007.
Why aren't any of them just enjoying it? I don't know.
Exactly.
But yeah.
Anyway, so that's Little Nellie. I'm gonna. Okay, a few facts on the Little Nellie scene. It's a 7.5 minute scene. Okay, there were 85 flights made to film that by what was his name, Mr. Wallace, Bill Wallace, to make that, and he was 46 hours in the air for that 7.5 minutes of action. Can I throw out a sort of controversial opinion here? Connery, we know, was getting fed up with Bond at this point, and we know he was frustrated with Japan, life in Japan. He found the shoot difficult and arduous for all kinds of reasons. I always think he doesn't quite buy into the Little Nellie scene. I always think he looks a bit, maybe bored is the wrong word, but a bit disengaged, a bit unhappy.
Okay.
I could be wrong. When he's delivering all the, to be fair, fairly crap lines about Little Nellie defended her honour or whatever it is, which is fairly shit dialogue.
Yeah.
But he never looks happy.
I suppose,
to me.
because he would have only been just in that one shot, the close up.
But I just
And it'd probably
wonder.
be quite dull and.
I just wonder, because he was a serious actor and wanted to do all these different things, and he was worried about being typecast. I wonder if lines like that are the kind of thing he just does not want to do by
Maybe,
1967.
yeah.
I could be wrong. Anyway,
Good theory.
good theory. If we're talking vehicles, we should probably mention the spacecraft, which may or may not be a glove. We shall find
Glove
out.
puppet, I think.
Hijacked spacecraft that can open up at the front. Pretty
Yeah.
good for 1967.
Yeah.
And capture
Something's
people.
gone there. What was that?
That's my phone falling out of my pocket.
It's not something's broken.
We'll just seamlessly continue. I mean, hijacked spacecrafts that can open up at the front, pretty good in 1967. I
Yeah.
think. And also, if we're talking vehicles, I have to make a special mention here, because you know how I like my trains.
Yeah.
Tiger's underground train and his apparently completely genuine assumption that M has the same arrangement in London.
Yeah.
He literally has his own underground railway. And Bond's like, oh yeah, obviously. Even the Queen hasn't got that. Well, you know. And it's all nicely done out inside, like the Orient Express with chandeliers and whatever. So yeah, I like that vehicle. Anything I've missed on vehicles?
No, I think we're okay. We said the double copter. What do you call those things?
Double copter.
Double-copter.
That's probably what they're called, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's probably the word they use for them in the American Air Force. I
Yeah.
don't know. Get me a double copter.
But I really like Little Nellie, but that's also going to factor in with like gadgets and things as well. So there's a bit of overlap. But I'm going to go 8.
See, this is interesting because you're enjoying it far more than me, and I've seen it a million times before, and I'm supposed to be a fan. I've only put 6
right.
vehicles.
That's good.
I like the
That's
little car
all right.
and I like the train.
Yeah, you're not bothered about Little Nellie.
I can't get that excited about it.
Okay.
I know it's. Am I weird?
I don't.
I'm weird, aren't I?
I mean, maybe, but
I'm a Bond fan that doesn't like Little Nellie.
yeah, perhaps. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a bit excited because there hasn't been a stinker yet.
You've enjoyed all
I've
5
been
movies.
just loving it,
Good. Good. I'm pleased to hear it.
Yeah.
I've got villain as the next category.
Well, I have indeed.
What are we
as well.
saying about the main villain?
It's great, especially having now seen the build up of the first few movies when he appeared twice before.
Yeah.
And I thought, why are they gonna reveal his face? It just, unless it's like when they do that now, when they conceal in modern movies, it'll be because it's a character that or it'll be a twist. There's no reason for it other than it looks cool. He looks menacing in the first without seeing him properly.
Yeah.
And he looks even more menacing when you do see him properly.
He does.
Once he's pushed that bloke out of the way, there's a massive bloke right in the shot.
It's my big shot.
When you first see him. And I also will now cut to the bit I found where the cat freaks out.
I know. I feel really sad for that cat because it's clearly genuinely quite scared.
Quite mad.
Yeah. I think I wouldn't say he's the best or my personal favourite villain, but he is probably the most iconic, isn't he? In terms of the one that sticks in people's minds. If you said to a sort of non-Bond fan, what does a Bond villain look like? They would probably think of something close to Donald Pleasance's Blackguard, wouldn't they? And gave the inspiration for a million spoofs, of course. Mike Myers and Dr. Evil and all that stuff. So the glue, I should say, that they used for the scar, which was Donald Pleasance's idea, was apparently really painful. It was sort of tearing
as soon as you brought it up, I thought that probably caused some injury.
It looks painful. His eyes sort of sort of adds to the madness. But anyway, I think he's a really good choice of villain. And do look up the photos of Jan Verlick as the original one, because he's very, very different. And I think Donald Pleasance was an excellent choice. I've gone 8 for the main villain. I think he's a great.
I've matched you.
Hurrah! I agree.
Oh no, I haven't scored 8 for everything, but
nearly.
Pretty much
7 and 9, and high school's all. No,
that's a 7.
Oh, that's a 7. Sorry, okay.
I think
no, that is a 7. You're right. Okay, good. So we have 2 8s for the villain. The villain is good. What about the henchman?
Henchman, like we say with that guy that you mentioned was The Rock's grandfather.
Yep.
Could have seen more of him. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, bit too short, I think.
The designer sofa fight. The large blonde, what was his hands?
Hands.
Kind of a bit of a...
bit forgettable?
Yeah. A little bit just a generic
Aryan bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to think if there were any more.
If you're thinking of,
there were
like Odd Job and some of the other really, really memorable henchmen.
Yeah, that one's not going to stick out once.
No.
You've gone through all of them.
Okay, he goes in the piranha pool. You sort of saw it coming, didn't you? He's walking around with the key. He's coming. So. Yeah, I think more of The Rock's granddad and do a bit more with hands, and we're into a better score. I've gone 6 for henchman because I don't think there's anything completely memorable there.
I'm going low. I'm going 5. Yeah.
Your score is dipped below
a little there.
That's not me influencing you, is it? Using my influencing skills to influence you.
6, you said, didn't you?
I said 6.
I need some new pens.
The red sort of pink.
We'll sort it out.
I'm fine with being pink. I'm okay with that.
Good.
Next category.
Location.
Okay, well, you're going to need to like Japan because it's basically Japan.
It's Japan.
Japan.
And I've talked about that, really, what I thought.
Looks beautiful.
Basically, it looks bloody lovely. And I think we've got our problems with the Japanese stuff in this movie, or some of it. But I think, they made a good advertisement for like the
Japan
scenery
and not just the sort of volcanoes and the bays and everything, but the shots of Tokyo, fantastic.
Yes.
The establishing shots with all the lights and everything, which again, I know I talk about this a lot, but historical context, it's 1967.
I know,
A lot of people probably haven't travelled very far, certainly not to Japan in the Western world. They're watching the movie, so they see that and they think, wow,
Yeah.
So
and I like, take the piss a little bit with the everyone's walls are made of paper, which they can bust through, but
looks good for that reason.
There's probably some research, it just seems that people do live in paper houses according to this movie.
They did scour locations in Japan very widely. So
and the little, the tables, and I like that. There's no bit where Bond goes as an Englishman. Oh, look at these shitty little tables and chairs. Haven't you got any proper furniture?
Why have I got to sit on the
floor?
floor?
Nothing like that. He goes. He embraces the culture when he's there, if a little clumsily.
So the turning Japanese bit. Wasn't that a song? Turning Japanese.
I really think so. It was a editor's note. Thank you, editor.
The Vapors.
That was it. There we go.
Vapors. There you are. Sorry, just popped into my
Wow,
head.
well
Yes, and also, of course, I'd say the other thing about Japan, we're starting to see Bond as a sort of superhero when it's a slightly clumsy bit of dialogue where Moneypenny says about, here's a Japanese phrase book.
Oh, yeah.
You forget I took a first in Oriental.
Yeah.
And it's like, phew, that was lucky.
Well, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It is
Yeah.
I don't know, it's a little clumsy. Anyway, location looks great. I've gone for 7. The reason being I like a bit of variation.
Oh, right.
Yes, Japan looks fabulous, beautiful, but I like a bit of variation, so I've gone 7.
And I've gone back to my standard 8 for
Okay.
this one.
So you're consistently scoring higher.
I'm doing quite high here, yeah.
Right, story. Now, we talked a little bit about the story. Roald Dahl taking the book and basically throwing 99% of it away and doing his own plot, or certainly working on the plot that had been started and then making it into his screenplay. He is the only person with a screenplay credit. I feel I should comment that Roald Dahl made a statement in a letter to his agent which called this script, and I quote directly, "the biggest load of bullshit I've ever put my hand to."
Okay.
So that suggests he wasn't terribly keen on the story that he was credited for. What's your thoughts?
It's kind of just it's entirely enjoyable, if a little bit of a, it's quite a daft one.
Yeah, it is a daft
Really, yes, with the spaceship glove puppet and everything going on there.
A spaceship glove that can cut the airline.
Yeah.
So, sharp glove.
While the ninjas were amazing, they did kind of get cut to shreds a bit as well.
They did, yeah.
So it's kind of a little, yeah.
And there's also a ninja that tries to kill Bond that
Yeah.
none of the other ninjas have ever seen before until after he's
yeah.
tried to kill Bond.
Yes.
Which suggests they might be good at ninja stuff.
Yeah.
Ninjas. But they're maybe not very observant.
Yeah.
They could be a bit more observant. I struggle a bit with this plot. I think it's overly protracted. It's quite complicated.
Yeah.
I do think it sags a bit in places as well. The wedding goes on too long. Okay. I still think there's too much ninja stuff. Sorry. Also, sorry. While I'm moaning, when he tries to get into the spaceship with his thing.
Oh.
He has the oxygen cylinder pack thing. That struck me as, come on, he's not going to do that, is he? He's James Bond. He knows not to do that. So I don't know. I wasn't mad keen on the story. I've gone 5.
Oh,
which is a low score for me.
Very low. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've gone a bit better, and I'm going 7.
7.
I quite enjoyed it.
We have 3 categories left. And they are Tom's favourite categories. So much so that he's written a jingle.
Which goes like this.
Gadgets, gags, and girls.
Hey, that bit at the end, you. See, you think I don't listen. I listen. That's nice. Is that from a video game? Sounds like it's from Space Invaders.
One of me sounds on me sound library there.
It's extraordinary.
The magic library of sounds.
It's extraordinary what you can do, isn't it? Tom's given music on SoundCloud. He's good, this man. Right, so gadgets, gags and girls. Right. Gadgets. I've got the cigarette that fires a little rocket.
Check.
May I smoke?
Yeah.
May I smoke?
Got it.
Helga's exploding lipstick that she drops in the plane. And the little portable safety coder that he gets in Osato's chemical lab, which he takes out of his pocket. Now, please remember that, because there is a safety coder in the next film, which I won't spoil the surprise, but let's say it's a little bigger. Okay, so why didn't you just use that one? Anyway, so those are 3 gadgets. Have I missed any? I must have missed some.
Loads, mate.
Okay. Loads, mate.
Well, you got
it's a gadget-tastic
2 trapdoors. Are they not gadgets?
I suppose they are.
Got
and the slides down into the... Yeah.
And the one that goes to the piranhas.
Yes.
I noticed we don't actually see any shots of piranhas.
No.
And I was quite thankful for that. After the sharks
Too
in
expensive.
Thunderball,
Yeah.
it was the expense rather than
Yeah.
safety.
No, I don't know. But
Because I thought, don't have real piranhas because they're going to make Bob get in there and...
yeah, they're going to send Bob Simmons.
Yeah. And he'll just be like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, no worries. Give me an extra 50
But
quid,
yeah,
I'll jump in.
it worked. You don't need to see piranhas. Just have a load of water bubbling and it works. And,
Yeah.
and that's cool.
Yeah.
Handbag walkie-talkies as well really early on.
Oh,
Before
yeah.
Just
yeah,
talking
yeah.
into my handbag like normal.
Like a normal
Yeah.
man does. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Nellie, just go through it, had 2 machine guns, 2 rocket launchers, heat-seeking air-to-air missiles, a flamethrower, smoke blasters or whatever, and aerial mines.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
I mean, really, I've given this 8, but just listing all those, it seems a bit low. Oh, and the desk X-ray as well. With,
Oh, yeah.
Osato.
Osato's desk X-ray is
Yeah.
quite good. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
When he identifies the gun and everything.
Well,
Yeah,
spoiled,
no, I like
yeah,
that.
I
I've
think.
gone. I mean, having said that though,
Yeah.
it probably is less gadget heavy than Thunderball, which was mega gadget tastic.
Yeah.
I have gone. You've gone what?
8 again.
You've gone
Yeah.
8 again.
Yeah.
I've gone 7 for gadgets.
Jokes. That's cool.
Right.
Gags.
What about gags? Nice gag. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bit of blue for dads.
Yeah, did you hear about that? No. I was going to do one. And then I realised we might use it as an opener one day. So
Okay. No, we need ideas for
we
the
need the
pre-title
openers,
sequences.
yeah.
So you'll need our best man, me, which I think I know it's not strictly a gag, but I thought it was a funny moment in the movie where he was
Yeah.
talking about offering Helga some close protection.
Yeah.
Saying you'll need our best man.
Talking of-
Also, Bon Appetit when he throws hands into the thing.
That's a good one.
A gag.
It's a good little one-liner in it. I mean, yeah.
What else have you got?
I got the guys that find him apparently dead say at least he died on the job. He'd have wanted it that way. Was that a gag? I don't know. And also, this one's a bit like sleazy, really, but it did make me laugh when Helga says that Mr. Osato believes in a healthy chest.
Oh yeah.
And as she says the word chest, shows us how healthy hers is.
Yeah. And I think Connery says something like, "I'm sure he does." or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Which again, Connery's quite good at that sort of deadpan.
Yes.
The joke is there, but I mean, and also it's such an obvious joke that there's really no way to play it other than being deadpan because
Yeah.
you can't sort of join in with it. So yeah, good gags.
The things I do for England. What, ruin a perfectly good dress?
Yeah, I know.
When you
I
just
don't
take
like
it
that.
off like a norm.
Yeah,
man.
exactly. Yeah, she might want to wear it.
Scumbag.
What's she going to wear to get out of the room? I mean,
Yeah.
okay.
And just a drop in the ocean as well.
Oh yes, just a drop in the ocean. I've forgotten about that one.
Still,
yeah.
none of the actual jokes make me laugh though. It's all the other bits. So I've only given this 6.
I've also given a 6 to gags. Yeah.
Yeah.
So not the most gag heavy movie or a laugh out loud heavy movie. This one.
I'm definitely buying some new pens.
Definitely the
That's
red
on-
pen.
Yeah.
One more section to go,
section,
which
yeah.
is girls. So you made an interesting point earlier because you said that you like the characters of Aki and Kissy and that they were sort of quite big parts and all that.
Yeah.
I don't think they're very well developed.
Well, no, I mean more
Don't
like...
apologise, mate.
No, I mean that it's more that at least they didn't give those roles to non.
Oh, I see. I see what
Japanese,
you mean.
because they're pretty chunky roles in the movie. But no, the characters are pretty thin and pretty. Yeah, it's just like.
Well, Kissy doesn't even get her name mentioned.
Oh,
Her
okay,
name
yeah.
is not said in the movie at all, which is really crap.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not. And in the book, there's a whole backstory for Kissy. She's an
right.
armour girl who's a dies for
And,
girls and all that. And a little bit of that could have made its way into the movie,
I think so. Yeah. Now that you mentioned that.
Yeah.
And Aki, just very unfortunate demise with another. Oh, is that a gadget? The poison on a string. We
suppose
missed
it is.
there. It's put-
Yeah,
love
yeah,
it.
yeah.
I gave them 8 anyway. They did well enough for gadgets, but quite sad. You just think, well,
It is really sad when she dies. I do still think she's an underdeveloped character because she's very sort of kick-ass. She's good at the karate and she drives a car really well, and she sort of lures Bond into a trap, which we haven't seen much of previously, and all that kind of stuff. So I think she's
And then
kick-ass.
she dies.
But I don't. Yeah, she doesn't kick ass enough. She's not given the chance to.
I'm with you, mate. Yeah.
You know, to really sort of kick ass enough.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm a little bit frustrating. I think really for the development of the female characters.
Oh,
so
and Helga as well. Is like not. Screen time's a lot shorter than your Pussy Galore or.
And she's quite. I think she's a
Tatiana.
Sort of. She is actually a bit more of a character you could develop, isn't she?
Yeah.
Because again, she's just sort of Spectre number 11, and that's it. Really.
Just a bit very one-dimensionally evil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bad woman. So I've gone 7 for girls. I think there's the potential for something really, really good, but it's not quite ever really developed enough.
Okay. I've done the same.
Hurrah!
And that's all the scores.
That's all the scores. So we're going to take a moment to cut away so that I can do some adding up, because maths is important, kids.
Yeah.
We're back in a minute. Welcome back. We have a score.
We do indeed.
But before that, ninjas! No, I'm only joking. Right, so we have a score, and there is quite a significant discrepancy in our scores, which is interesting, because you enjoyed this movie much more than I did, I think.
Seems so.
So, Tom's score as a first-time watcher was 87 out of 140, and mine was 78, so maybe I'm a little jaded.
Maybe.
In this movie. Anyway, that gives us a total for You Only Live Twice of
165.
165, which puts it out of the 5 movies we've done so far
in fourth place.
Fourth. So Doctor No 143, You Only Live Twice goes in fourth with 165. Then it's From Russia With Love 184, Thunderball 186, Goldfinger 191 still leads away. So it's still a fair way behind Goldfinger. Bit of a drop off from Goldfinger.
A little bit.
Not bad. Not bad. So there we are. What did you think of that?
What? The film we just said?
No, in
a lot of detail.
The thing we spent the last hour doing. What did you think of it?
It was alright. Yeah.
We got through it, didn't we?
What do you want me to say?
Did you enjoy it, or did you set here at gunpoint to do it?
I hope that my musical interludes have been well received.
Oh, naturally.
And I
Tom
look
Scriven
forward.
SoundCloud on SoundCloud. He's good. This man.
And I look forward to coming back to discuss On Her Majesty's Secret Service
With a new Bond.
Of
which more in the next episode, in the Dunes, of course. So thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is called
Review Kill Show.
No,
the YouTube channel. Luxury
That's the Twitter. That's a nice role reversal. You got it wrong. It's normally me getting that wrong. Right, subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is called
Luxury Tedium.
And subscribe to follow our Twitter page, which is called
@Review Kill Show.
Very good. See, we're getting there.
I will see the comments on the YouTube. James will see the Twitter.
I am the Twitter master.
And we tell each other what's going on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you next time when we will talk about On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Look forward to it.
Love you, bye.
Cheerio.